new firefighters. I think we ended up with about 62, 63. We had a wonderful graduation this afternoon with them. We really had a good time. We had our social up at the Prescott Resort on Tuesday night. We raised over $6,200 for scholarships for the firefighters, which was pretty awesome. And then one of our vendors donated and actually exceeded the match on that. So we're going to go into next year with close to $12,000 worth of scholarships for firefighters again. Pretty excited about that. It's Thursday. We got one day left, and it's been a long week, but it's been, this is really a labor of love. Everybody that comes to the Academy does not get paid by the Academy. They're either volunteering their time or their agency that sponsored them is coming. So it's fun. About 70% of the Academy is rural, volunteer, city and county fire departments. The other 30% of the Academy is made up by the federal students, representing the USDA Forest Service, BRO Land Management, National Park Service, Bureau of Indian Affairs, so on and so forth. I think what else?
I've heard that they're expecting a pretty active fire season this year, or at least potentially. And why is an academy like this so important in fighting those fires?
I think the Academy, not only does it teach classes, the added value is that you put 700 or 800 people together in one place who are doing some networking, meeting people. So when we go out there and respond to wildland fires or other incidents, all hazard incidents, people know each other, they have relationships, they have trust, and they have some of the same working abilities.
Mm-hmm. And are they all kind of then on the same page as to what you do, when, and how to?
The Academy was born out of the 2002 rodeo Jetta Sky. That's why the Academy came. Don Howard, who was the chief of Summit Fire, was there, saw that there was a lot of incompatibilities, a lot of different levels of training. In 2003, we had the very first Arizona Wildfire Academy as you know it. And since then, I think we have issued, I'm trying to ballpark it for you, over 7,000 certificates to firefighters in that 11 years.
Wow.
Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. So now you're retired, right, from the Forest
I'm tired.
Service?
I'm not sure if I'm retired. But, yeah, I am. I retired. I spent 32 years with the Forest Service. Retired as a district fire management officer. I presently work for Prescott Fire Department, contracted out here to run the Arizona Wildfire Academy.
Okay. And so you're still doing this because you still love it, I take it?
I do. I'm also one of the 16 national Type 1 incident commanders for the country. I run around with a team. A lot of my team is here. A lot of the other representation from other incident management teams are here as well.
So you still are fighting fires even though you're retired?
I am. Yep. I'm just working for a different agency, that's all.
So,
it's fun stuff.
What should people look out for this year, in the summer?
Well, it's like everything else. If you live in Prescott, that defendable space and that fire-wise community is always paramount, giving the firefighters a chance. If we do have a fire entering their communities, at least the firefighters have a place to make a stand.
You're the incident commander for the Academy this year, is that correct?
Yes,
and how's it going?
It's wonderful. Unfortunately, it's almost over. It's been a great academy. Continued success with getting a lot of quality instruction out to folks that have chosen to come here. We put a lot of students through a lot of classes, so I can't say enough good things about how good the week's been.
Do you have a lot of students that are repeat students from year to year?
Yeah, we do. I don't know the exact percentage, but it's a fairly significant amount. As a matter of fact, one of the things I do at the end of each class, we go in and we recognize the instructors, and I try to get a feel. I ask the students, how many of you is it your first time attending the academy? And depending on the class, it's never really been more than 50% of the class. Sometimes there's, as a matter of fact, we had a few classes today where only 1 or 2 students raised their hands as being a first-time student here. So we get a lot of folks coming back year in and year out, and we hope that that's a testament of the quality of the education we put on.
And is there new technology that rolls around pretty much every year that you can be teaching them about, so they're not getting the same thing from year to year, right?
Yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, a couple of things I can tell you about unique this year. We spent a lot of time within the management team running the academy, as well as offering a class on social media. We put that into play, whether it was QR codes to get all the written and briefing material to Facebook, Twitter, all sorts of social media, and then we offered a class for the first time to teach the use of social media and how to use that beneficially to get incident information out. The other thing we did as far as current information, it may not be new technology, but the way most of our standardized training is it's on a clock. Maybe every 10 years they get a chance to update courses. So sometimes the information may stay stagnant, although we know things and conditions change. We use folks from our Lessons Learned Center. A gentleman was here from the Lessons Learned Center purposely to visit classrooms and provide updated course content, current affairs, real-life examples that may have occurred in the last few years to augment much of the standardized training. And he made himself available to all the instructors and the students this week.
What besides the social media, what's the biggest message that you are getting out to people who are actually working on the lines of the fire?
That's a very easy question, and I'm proud to tell you that we have the wonderful opportunity here at the Academy to do some teaching or education outside the classroom as much as we do inside. And so the last few years, we have been encouraging folks to understand lessons learned, both the hard lessons that have been born out of tragedy, as well as the effective practices and successes that have come from incident management. Carry those lessons forward, understand the history, put it in context, and bring it out to your next assignment and pass it forward. That is the message that we've been putting out with the outside the classroom at the Academy the last few years.
And now with the social media aspect added, does that mean that folks on the fire lines will be using it to update the community about what's happening and how things are going and maybe some dangerous areas that they need to be careful of?
I think, excuse me, I'd say both directly and indirectly, we're going to see that. We already are seeing that. Much of the folks that are involved in managing the incident, from our operational folks on the ground leading the troops, many of those folks these days are outfitted with iPads, obviously cameras and videos that are right within their personal devices. We use that information to update and keep real time the information we will use to plan the next operation, whether it's 12 or 24 hours later. Then in turn, through our information officers that we have attached to all incident management teams, they can make use of social media, taking some of that information and some of that data and making it public when needed.
Okay. Anything you want to add?
What a pleasure it is to be a part of the Wildfire Academy here in Arizona, and encourage folks to come take their training here, because I think we offer a very unique experience and high quality thanks to our instructors.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.